Good afternoon. I'm George Latimer, Westchester County Executive. Welcome to our Westchester Weekly Update of issues that are happening here in Westchester County. I'm joined by Deputy County Executive Ken Jenkins, who will be joining me at the podium in a few minutes, and we're going to cover a couple of key issues that are happening in Westchester County today. It's not a long report scheduled for today. We know that we have some additional announcements that we're going to be making as the week goes along. We will be releasing our 2023 capital projects budget before the end of this week, and the capital project includes those particular items that we're going to make improvements on this year, physical improvements to different parts of county facilities, roads, and other types of entities. That will be released before the end of the week. We will be in the weeks to come having a couple of budget input sessions. We have one scheduled on October 20th in Peekskill, and we have one scheduled November 3rd in Pelham, in which we'll invite individuals to give us input. And then a week after that last hearing, on November 10th, we expect to release the operating budget for 2023, the fiscal year. That'll be given to the Board of Legislators, so we'll have an idea of what next year's budget looks like, and the all attention paid to the tax rate for Westchester County. In the last 3 years, we have reduced taxes, the county tax levy in the last 3 years, and we're hopeful that we'll have a good report to give you when we're completed, and that's coming up over the course of the next less than a month, within the next few weeks. For today's report, I'm going to start with a very sobering activity, but we want to be transparent and let you know where we stand on it. This past Friday night, slightly after 5 in the evening, the Westchester County Department of Public Safety confirms that a passenger on board a B-line bus in Yonkers was shot. It's on the number 4 line of the bus system. The bus number itself was bus 257, and that occurred officially at 5:02 in the evening. 2 shots were fired. One missed the intended victim, and the second struck the victim in his left leg. There were entrance and exit wounds, and the same bullet then struck the victim's right leg. There is a person of interest involved in the shooting, a juvenile, but he is still being pursued and has not yet been located. There are indications that the incident was not a random shooting, but we believe was gang-related. The victim is stable, is expected to fully recover from their injuries, and anyone that has information is asked to call the Westchester County Police at 914-864-7701. We want to thank the Westchester County Police and the Yonkers Police Department for working cooperatively on this matter and working with great professionalism. We have had very few shootings over the course of the last year, certainly over the summer. There have been a couple here and there, nothing on the magnitude of what we've seen in other jurisdictions. And this particular case, what we believe is a gang-related shooting, the police department responded quickly and got to the scene. There are no permanent injuries that come out of this, and no bystanders were injured. So we're hopeful that that will be a positive story at the end when the individual who's accused of the firing is captured. But for now, that is the update on what's happened. You may have heard about it over the weekend, and that now is the current status as it is today on Tuesday, October 11th. Now, next I'm going to bring up here a woman who's our Director of Tourism and Film, Natasha Caputo. Natasha has worked for the administration. She served in the prior administration as well as in our administration, and she has really been at the point person for all of our efforts and outreach for tourism. And part of the tourism effort is that relates to film, using Westchester venues for parts of films and television and in motion pictures. And it's a particularly lucrative area that generates revenue for the county and for the municipalities. And of course, there's always a big energy level when we find out that a famous Hollywood actor is on one of our streets going to one of our delis because they're filming a movie or a TV show as part of this. I want to emphasize that Natasha's responsibilities are for Westchester County, but she works very cooperatively within the region. We saw last week when there was an announcement made in Poughkeepsie that IBM was going to be investing significant amount of money, and the federal government investing significant amount of money in a major expansion of IBM plant services in Poughkeepsie. Now, Poughkeepsie's in the county of Dutchess, but what happens in the Hudson Valley affects all of us, and we think positively. We think that we have a common future with Rockland, Orange, Putnam, Ulster, Sullivan, and Dutchess counties, and that as we rise as a region. IBM is still corporate headquartered here in Westchester County and benefits from the growth in the Hudson Valley of their operation. And so it is with tourism and with film. People who come to tour our area may not specifically tour Westchester County. They may come to see Lyndhurst, the Jay Gould estate. They may come to see one of our other historic estates. They may come for one of our festivals. We have a great Halloween parade in Tarrytown and Sleepy Hollow. That's always great fun. And that myth of Sleepy Hollow, Washington Irving, with his home in Sunnyside, wrote here. They also come to this region to go to the FDR homestead or the Vanderbilt mansion or the walkway across the Hudson, which is in Dutchess County and goes into Ulster County. They may come to see West Point over the bridge in Orange County, or Storm King and the art that's displayed outdoors. But there's reasons for us to think regionally for the success of the future. And Natasha has been very good about forming strategic coalitions that helps Westchester entities achieve their maximum result, and at the same time advances the Hudson Valley region as an outgrowth of the great tourism population that we get in New York City. So without any other further ado, let me introduce Natasha Caputo. Thank you for joining us, Natasha. Please share with us your report.
Thank you so much. Well, I'm just delighted to be here today to talk about film, really. And for Westchester County, we have now have launched a film survey. It's a film economic impact survey. Since Westchester is a top destination for film, commercial, and television, we have a huge diversity of location, and we're very proactive to outreach to the industry. And it's growing. We've seen it right in our backyards. Our county executive mentioned Succession, The Gilded Age, Law and Order, most recently Only Murders in the Building, Apple TV Plus, which just filmed several episodes for its upcoming series, The Crowded Room, here in the county. For us to accurately measure and get a good understanding and service this industry and the impact, we are asking our municipalities, our businesses, our hotels, attractions, nonprofit partners who have hosted media production in the last 2 years, and that includes filming on your location, catering, base camp, accommodations, to complete this online confidential economic impact survey found on visitwestchesterny.com film, for us to really gain your feedback of what it means as an economic driver here. And those experiences will help us to work better with you and all of our partners, and also to draw more attention to Westchester County as a film stage and location. And for our residents, thank you. Thank you for welcoming the many productions that are all in your backyard. It builds hometown pride. It also is a lot of the industry as your neighbors that have found home here in Westchester County, and increases that generate economic impact into our small businesses. And it is with you in our partnership that our goal is to grow the industry, generate revenues for your locations, continue to see Westchester on the big screen and streaming right in your family room here in the county. Thank you, and we appreciate your help.
Thank you very much. That's Natasha Caputo, who is Director of our Film and Tourism Operations, and we're very happy to have the information that she shares. We're also happy to have some of my notes back, which you have in your hand. Thank you. We'll continue our report by giving you a quick update on where we are with the health issues that we've been tracking. You saw last week that I got my updated flu shot and my bivalent COVID booster shot, which is my fourth shot in my series, and we encourage people to continue to do that as we go forward. We are in flu season now, and as people understand, if you get a flu shot, it reduces the likelihood of you getting the flu, and if you do get it, you get it at a much less intense factor. The COVID issue has been out there for a while. I can report that we've been pretty stable in the number of active cases, 2,000, slightly less than 2,000 COVID active cases as we speak today, and has been that way really for the last 3, almost 4 months now. We know we're going into the colder winter season, so we expect that number to rise a little bit, but we don't expect an explosion as we had last year when we had the COVID Omicron variant. The numbers on COVID have been very encouraging. We've kept in Westchester County under 2,000 active cases. Under 7% of all the people that have an active case have been hospitalized, so it's a relatively small number. And our fatality rate has been very low. From pandemic to date, and we started out with a lot of fatalities in the early part of this pandemic before there was any vaccination, and we even know what we were dealing with. It spread like wildfire. It affected a lot of people of advanced age and with underlying health issues. And we lost quite a bit of people. We've lost overall shy of 3,000 individuals, but as a percentage of all the people that were infected, pandemic to date, we're slightly under 1%, 0.9%. But the encouraging factor is in the last year, and during that year, we've had vaccinations and booster vaccinations. The fatality rate is 0.3% of all the people that contract the disease. So it's a very small number of people that we've lost fatally out of all the people that have contracted the disease. And that tells us that we're doing something right in the management of it here in Westchester County. And the key factor has been and continues to be vaccination to protect you from it. We understand there's been a debate about vaccination in the society, but 85% plus of Westchester residents have been vaccinated at some level or not. And I think the low fatality rates and the relatively low hospitalization rates go in to prove that. Westchester County Health Department offers both the flu vaccine and the COVID-19 bivalent booster by appointment every Monday and Friday during the month of October from 10 a.m. to 3 p.m. at our White Plains Clinic, 134 Court Street here in downtown White Plains. You can come on a Monday or you can come in on a Friday, but you have to call to get an appointment. Hours of 10 a.m. to 3 p.m. You can get a shot for flu and or a shot for COVID. And if you saw last week, I got a shot of both, one on my left arm, one on my right arm. The arm's a little stiff overnight, the next day or so, but I got through it just fine, and I'm hopeful that they will provide the protection that I believe that they will. You can go online at westchestergov.com/health to book your vaccine shot. You don't have to call, you can do it online. Flu shots are available for anyone ages 3 and older, and high-dose flu vaccine is available for those who are 65 years and older, and that's what I got, the high-dose flu vaccine. Children may receive a COVID-19 vaccine at the same time, and that is on Friday mornings. And the bivalent COVID-19 boosters are available for adults and children 12 and up who have received their most recent COVID vaccination at least 2 months ago. Now, there are some additional satellite locations for vaccinations. We try to move them around the county. We're very vigorous about this during the heart of our vaccination efforts. We have the county center going, but we also put a lot of satellite locations out in the community to make it easier for you so you could travel a bit of a distance. So we have White Plains here at our clinic. What we also have is on Thursday, October 20th, we'll be at Yonkers Riverfront Library from 2 p.m. to 6:30 p.m. It's in the main entrance, the atrium, the Children's Library on the second floor. That's located at 1 Larkin Center in Yonkers, downtown Yonkers, right by the Yonkers train station. And if you don't drive, you can reach it by bus. You can get on the Hudson line of Metro North and come from any of the Hudson line communities, get right off the train station. Right across the street is the library. 2 to 6:30, Thursday, October 20th. We'll be back at that same location on Thursday, November 3rd, for the same circumstances where you can get either the flu and or the COVID-19 booster. In addition to October 20th and November 3rd, Thursdays in Yonkers, on Friday, October 28th, from 9 a.m. to 1 p.m., we will be vaccinating at the Don Bosco Community Center on Don Bosco Place in Portchester. That's right in downtown Portchester. It's a fairly short walk from the New Haven Line station, and there's also bus routes that take you right into that heart of Portchester area if you come by mass transit. But it's located 22 Don Bosco Place, and at that location, 9 to 1, Friday, October 28th. And again, you can go online to westchestergov.com, and you can look at the health information. It'll give you all the details on the vaccinations, the health department website. You can click off of that. It will give you some of the details. We can report with great comfort, although we're still making available monkeypox vaccinations. We feel that we have really turned the corner completely on monkeypox. Practically no new cases. Target communities that are of concern have gotten every ample opportunity for vaccination. So we do feel that the monkeypox issue is behind us now. Anything can happen, and you can't be arrogant about what happens in the area of public health, but we think the monkeypox concern is now behind us. And the issues about polio polio. We reported on last week. The most recent testing that we did in our wastewater treatment system showed no trace of polio in Westchester waters, regardless of what may be happening in other places, and we treat those both as good signs. We've also dealt with hurricanes, and of course we saw Hurricane Fiona go through the Caribbean, and then Hurricane Ian hit a swash of Florida and really caused great devastation, both of those two hurricanes together. Ken Jenkins is going to cover with you some of these issues, both in terms of the areas that were affected and what we do going forward. Deputy County Executive Ken Jenkins.
Next one. All right, thank you so much, George. And certainly we are concerned with all of the impact of the hurricanes. But last week, County Executive and all of our team asked the county employees to donate, if they could, to Hurricane Fiona victims in Puerto Rico, the Dominican Republic, and the Caribbean. We asked them to bring bottled water, new blankets, non-perishable food, toiletries, feminine hygiene products, and diapers. And today, we delivered those items to Rock of Salvation Church in Sleepy Hollow and the Dominican Cultural Society Association in Yonkers for shipment to Puerto Rico and to the Dominican Republic, respectively. Certainly, Ian had some additional work and damage that went across through our Florida Panhandle and other areas, and those areas that will need our assistance are out there as well. We're going to keep you posted on other efforts that are going on around the county to help those folks wherever they happen to be. And we know that tragedy has no borders, and I know we all can come together to help our neighbors and our neighbors rebuild during this time of need. To all of our county employees, we thank you for your generosity and support. We know that we continue to ask them to be able to dig down deep and to be able to help support those folks, again, wherever they are. Sometimes they're emergency first responders that go down to be part of efforts to do rescue and recovery, but also just to donate. So again, thank you to all of our county employees, and we look forward to continuing to work with our neighbors around the world. Thanks, George.
And again, we caution you to be prepared at a moment's notice should a hurricane come on the radar screen that makes direct plans toward the New York metropolitan area. We have been historically fortunate that we have not had major hurricanes hit New York full force. It has happened in the past. It can happen in the future. We're still in hurricane season, and we encourage you to listen, as we all do, to the weather reports and be available to evacuate if necessary, particularly if you're in a low-lying area, and to protect your assets as best as you can. Again, I mentioned a very short report. We do want to handle on a couple of other different issues that are coming up. A week from today, we are going to raise the Italian flag as part of Italian Heritage Month celebration. It's going to be right here in front of our county office building at 148 Martine Avenue. The timing for that is 6 p.m. Individuals are welcome to attend. We'll have representatives in some of the major Italian-American civic organizations and lodges that will be with us here. We expect a robust turnout, and we'll have a reception for those individuals here inside the county office building to follow the flag raising. Just a couple of weeks ago, we were pleased to have a Hispanic Heritage event here to recognize the month that's mid-September to mid-October on behalf of Hispanic Heritage. And we try to take pride in all of the various heritages that make up Westchester County's mosaic. We have at various times of the year celebrated the Irish community, Irish American community, the Albanian American community. We have celebrated those who are African American in descent, those who are Jewish, those who are Muslim, and those of Asian American background. So with all of those different things, this is the moment in time for those of Italian American background, a major demographic here in Westchester County. Great contributions made by the Italian community here. And so join me and our chair of the Westchester County Board of Legislators, Catherine Borgia, as we raise the Italian flag here in front of the county office building on Tuesday, October 18th, a week from today at 6 p.m. I've mentioned before about the capital budget release and the operational budget release that's coming. The two public sessions, again, that are coming up on October 20th, which is a Thursday in Peekskill, and then on November 2nd, I think I may have said the 3rd previously, but November 2nd is the second date, and that'll be in Pelham. We'll announce more information in future updates and in other fashion so that you can come and comment on the budget before it's released. And as we have other major events and activities, we'll be happy to share it with you. That'll do it for us today. I don't know if it's a record short report, but we want to try to be as upfront as we can, and at the same time, recognize the importance of your time to do the things you'd like to do. So with that, I will thank you for watching. If you have any questions, any members of the press can contact us, our communications director, Catherine Chaffee, at 995-2932. I'm George Latimer, Westchester County Executive, bidding you a good day and a safe week ahead.